You can call her Mayhem or Mayday. Talk shit, she at your head. I ain't talking bald face. She don't fuck with baby daddies, fucking up the feng shui. Taking care of 4 kids, Sunday to Sunday. Flyer than round trips when she hit the runway. Comedy original, she do shit her own way. Made the stage her place, moving at her own pace. Fuck with her the wrong way, this gon' be a long day. She watch Basketball Wives, loving hip hop too. Born in 81, one day forward turned to 82. Funny, ratchet, and cute. She a winner, that's true. She don't even take L's, eating alphabet soup. Mayday, mayhem, 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 mayday, mayhem. She a cool black nerd, always been smart. Ever since she turned 8, wanted her name in the charts. Monty Python was a shit. Richard Pryor made a start. Red Fox and Eddie Murphy, inspiration to her art. Who you know got banned from the dollar store for throwing canned goods at a baby father though? She a good mother though. She ain't worried about laughs cause she gon' get a lot of those. Showtime at the Apollo though. And she paint the perfect picture telling stories up in all the jokes. You don't really want the drama, bro. Cause Mabel cool, Mayday nice, Mayday want all the smoke. Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem.
Hello, y'all, and welcome to another episode of Mayday Mayhem podcast and stream. Now, trying to get everything situated and fixed up here, trying to be a little bit more professional. But no, seriously. As you can see from the title, and as you probably also hear in the background, hold on one second. Seems like everybody want to do laundry and stuff when it's time for me to go online or do something, since my office desk is right near the basement laundry room area. So, yeah, I apologize. But anyway, now, as you can see from the title, you probably asking like, what does church have to do with anything, or why I don't go to church? And it's simple for my reasoning. And again, you might agree with me and you may not. I want to again thank you all for coming in. Thank you for just watching. That is support. I do appreciate it. Please give it a like and a share. That kind of makes my algorithms go up. I know that probably sounded crazy coming out. Algorithms. There we go. I got it. Hey, that makes it go up so you can get more content. But again, the question was posed to me. It has been posed to me several times why I don't go to church. And for me, it's simple. Because church is not what it used to be when I was growing up. Okay? Give you a little brief bio about me. All right. I went to Catholic school. So, of course, I had to practice Catholicism, being a Catholic and all that as a child because I went to Catholic school. But again, also was worshiped Baptist and Pentecostal. Again, that was outside of school because I went to a Catholic school, which in those days were private schools. Okay. So, of course, the question you're probably asking is, do I believe in God? Absolutely. I believe in the higher being. I believe in our Father entity that does provide and take care of us. But the reason I don't go to church has nothing to do with my beliefs. it has to do with what's happening in the churches right now. Now, I'm pretty sure y'all have seen from the past couple of weeks about the mega church, Bishop Lamar Whitehead. Now, he was robbed of over $1 million in just jewelry alone on his person and his wife. Inside of a church on live television, I might add. For one, why are you a pastor of a church wearing over $1 million worth of jewelry? $1 million could be more profitable to help the homeless, the needy parishioners in your church, to help build and fix the church. That's what it's supposed to go for. But it's just so ironic that not only allegedly, of course, he was robbed on his live stream doing his service, which allegedly it was only about 25 people in there, allegedly 25 parishioners or so to say. And you had over $1 million worth of jewelry on. Now, of course, it's nothing wrong with looking nice. It's nothing wrong with having nice clothing, having nice things. Absolutely. You work hard for it. Why not? It's absolutely permissible to have nice things. However, when you're preaching a sense of humbleness and the sense of godliness and God will provide, but yet and still you have $1 million worth of jewelry on and you get robbed, that's insanity to me. Why would you be in church with $1 million worth of jewelry on? Why? Not only that, he's not the only preacher or pastor that has done this. You also have world-renowned Benny Hinn. It's another pastor / con man. You also have quote unquote the apostle David Taylor. You know, he was actually depositioned for the money that he took from the church. You have Creflo Dollar with his tithes apology about giving tithes to the church and everything like this, because as it's stated, you're supposed to give 10% of your earnings to the church. That's supposed to be your tithes. But again, you have preachers that have mega churches that are walking around. Again, it's nothing wrong with giving your wife a $200,000 car, but you know damn well that $200,000 car had to come from some of them parishioners. Talking about John Gray. Joel Osteen. Let's not forget what happened to him. What was that during Hurricane Harvey that just happened not too long ago, when he wouldn't even allow people inside of the church because he said, quote unquote, the basement was flooded. Who gives a damn about the basement? We need a safe haven to get away from, a hurricane. So you have this endless supply of pastors and preachers that's supposed to be preaching the word of the Lord or preaching the word of whatever faith you may be worshiping. And in all, they are taking. Again, let's not forget in Joel Osteen, it was like $600,000 that was missing, allegedly. And what happened? It was found in the walls of the church behind the bathroom. Like, are you serious? None of that makes sense. None of that makes sense. Why behind the walls in the church? Like, that would only be someone that worked there. Again, you have all these different things that happen in churches that make you want to stay clear of it. And then again, back to alleged the Bishop Lamar Whitehead that was robbed on live. Now, allegedly, he is being sued for $90,000 because he was supposed to help a woman, allegedly, a woman to help rebuild her house and do fixing on her house. And he didn't. He actually put that money with a down payment, allegedly, for a $4.5 million home for himself. So again, when flashy preachers and flashy pastors, that is kind of a stray for me to stay away from, stay away from that church, because you can kind of see what they're about. It's very rare during this day and age and time that I see a church that really practices what they preach. If Sister Sarah is short on a light bill, like literally the pastor will take money from the church and help pay Sister Sarah's light bill. And, again, this is from the church because you've given your tithes. This is where a church is supposed to be a family where we help each other. And I've seen so many times when, of course, I've been members of several different churches where I've gone and been in churches, and it becomes either a fashion show, again, a money grab, because, anyone that knows about religion, if you're doing a church, that literally is tax-free money. You don't pay taxes. It's a church. It's a religion. That's just like why Scientology fought so hard to become an actual religion, because it's a tax bracket. It's a tax break. You don't pay taxes on a certain amount of money. So yes, being a pastor or a deacon in a church can be very, very lucrative. But however, it should be lucrative for the community and for the parishioners, not for the pastor and preachers. You see what I'm saying? Like when we do church in our house, like literally we will grab the Bible and we will read a few chapters and we'll talk about them, read them, and then talk about them. That's our form of church. And if we have questions now, we're in the age of technology. We could just type up the question and try to see which one is actually befitting to the question that we may have in regards to whatever religious text we may be reading at that time. So again, it's nothing wrong with worship. It's the way people worship. And the money. It's just the whole money thing of it. Let me just show y'all. I got my other camera over here. And I want to thank everyone coming in. I really do appreciate you joining the stream. But again, this is the reason I don't do church. It has nothing to do with my religion. Yes, I believe in a higher entity that actually watches and looks over me. You know what I'm saying? Now, we may have a little conspiracy going on with what I think about that. But yes, I do believe in God. I do believe I'm spiritual. I'm very much so spiritual. Yes, I believe in miracles. Yes, I believe in, timing and things for a reason. And, yes, I do believe in that. But when it becomes a thing of $1 million worth of fucking jewelry on you, $1 million worth of jewelry on you in a church doing service, and the first thing that comes out of the pastor's mouth is, well, why can't I look good? Why can't I have $1 million worth of jewelry on? Because you're supposed to be worshiping the Lord. You're supposed to be coming to yourself humbling yourself. You're not going to a gala. You're not going to the Oscars. You're not going to Emmys. You ain't going to the pastor's ball. I don't even know if that's a real thing, but it may be. Shit, I don't know. But again, you ain't going to none of these places, so there's no reason for you to come in with $1 million worth of jewelry on, and then all of a sudden you get robbed. It's just crazy to me. And again, this is not the first time this has happened. It's not. This ain't the first time that this has happened. This has happened several times over. And it's just not the pastors that I name. This streams from Christianity to Hindu to Islam. Like, it's all over. And again, if you're in the right community around the right people that worship correctly, you're in a good place. You are totally, totally blessed. But a lot of people are worshiping and following up behind a lot of people that prayers don't really mean anything. They don't care about prayers. They don't care about I'm pulling it up for you. They don't care about prayers. They don't care about if someone needs help. They're only literally caring about the money that they can get, how much they can get, and what can they buy their family with their money. Now again, I'm just pulling up random news clips, which you can literally see on your own. I'm just putting up literally random news clips, and you can see on your own that it's this. Some of these go back like 3 years, some of these go back 6 months, some of them go back 1 month. It's crazy. Okay, it should be coming up. Did it come up? Yay, it's up. All right.
Attorney says he made a confession. Former Minister Gerald Altail, with no comment on his fall from grace, the man of faith is accused of stealing money from his own church for 6 years. He was in charge of the mission trips at Houston's First Baptist, but prosecutors say while sharing the teachings of Jesus Christ with the world, he was profiting on his congregation.
It is very sad that there was this incredible and dire abuse of trust.
The Harris County District Attorney's Office says Altick used the stolen funds to pay for groceries, overseas trips, even a doctorate of ministry, and used other people's signatures to do it.
My name was used in some of the financial misrepresentations in terms of forging my name on trips that didn't happen.
Russell Minnick worked directly under Altick, helping with mission trips. Altick resigned from the church late last year, but Minnick says he voiced concerns about the minister's ethics in early 2016.
There was a problem of not having ability for negative feedback in the church that could have led to Gerald being held accountable before it got this far. And then since then, it's been very difficult to get information.
We're very transparent.
Church spokesperson Stephen Murray says Houston's First Baptist is just now providing details because the criminal investigation was still ongoing. The church has already made changes that its leaders say will ensure all future donations are protected.
This one person's action isn't going to stop the gospel from going forward. And so we have much more work to do to get his word out.
The DA's office says that Altick received that doctorate of ministry from Lancaster Bible College. So we reached out to them. They tell us that he got his degree.
So again, as you can see, you can clearly see that's just one pastor. That's just one. Literally, that's just one. That's just one. It's several out here that are, again, taking advantage of people. And that's the thing. Now, this one happened back in 2018. And it's the same script over and over again. You see so many pastors and preachers in jail for literally taking and stealing. That's literally what they're doing. Again. And again, not all, but some of these preachers and pastors, they harp on the fear of hope that people have. You know, people do pray. And yes, prayer does change, but if you're praying for the downfall of someone versus praying for them to be healed and whole, what do you think is going to happen? If you're only praying for money, you're praying for the downfall of people. Let's be real. Sharing.
It's a place that claims to minister to the imperfect man. Now, the man who runs it is in some big legal trouble.
How you buying a Bentley running the church?
At first, neighbors thought Reverend Clarence Jr. was going to do something good for the block.
But then it started to kind of look iffy a little bit. You know, like he was coming around in Jordans and Bentleys and new cars. And I'm like, wait a minute, you know, pastors don't do that.
The 45-year-old has been indicted on federal charges, claiming he stole more than $800,000 for programs intended to feed kids who live in impoverished neighborhoods.
It's very sad and then do it in this community.
Court records allege he deposited checks into his own bank account, then used the money to buy a $142,000 Bentley like this one.
It's like, who can buy a Bentley?
Investigators say he tried to cover it up, claiming his financial records had been damaged in a flood. Smith, who posts a lot on social media about second chances and redemption, wasn't at his church Friday, but neighbors say he often sleeps there, though it doesn't hold service anymore. Questions still remain about how Smith was able to get the money in the first place. In 2011, he pleaded guilty to stealing $100,000 from an elderly man in DuPage County. Why federal authorities would then cut him $100,000 checks less than 5 years later is unclear.
If it's true, which I think that it is true, he needs to get whatever he deserves.
We reached out to Reverend Smith's lawyer today. He had no comment. We did hear back from the Illinois State Board of Education. They say he ran a daycare at this facility. That is why he was part of the food program. They noticed something was wrong back in 2016. They cut him off from the program, but by then he already owed $3.3 million. Reporting tonight in Lawndale.
$3.3 million. Did she say Lawndale?
Megan Dwyer, WGN News.
Yeah, that's not too far from where I'm from. $3 million. Millions. From what's supposed to be for children, impoverished children. That's what it's supposed to be for. But he's sitting up here stealing. And again, these are children that don't have anything, you know, literally don't have anything, and you're stealing from them. Again, using the church as a cover. See, that's why I'm very, very leery of these flashy pastors like Joel Osteen, which is, of course, all of them, that they're so flashy. You're preaching the word of God, but you got a $200,000 Rolls Royce. There ain't nothing wrong with having that if you got it from book sales or stuff like that. But doesn't the Bible and other religions teach you to be humble, to be respectful, to be sincere with your prayers and with your love? And you're supposed to help, you know. Ain't one of the 7 deadly sins greed? What, goddamn, you do not need like Kenneth Copeland needed a jet. You don't need no $2.3 million jet to fly around. You don't need it. Again, you see it over and over and over again. This was again regarding David Taylor, where he was actually deposed. Again, money. It's always about the same thing. It's about money. It's always money. Let me share the screen with you. I'm getting a little quicker with this. You have it over and over and over again.
$1 billion mega church. They believe he's truly holier than thou.
Mr. Taylor, you also go by the name of the Apostle?
Yes.
David Taylor claims he was personally visited by Jesus Christ and now brings others into the light through his nonprofit organization, Joshua Media Ministries International, or JMMI. Today, Taylor's being deposed in a divorce case involving one of his volunteers, a woman who donated over $1 million to his ministry. Now, as part of the divorce proceedings, lawyers want to know exactly how that money was used.
On November 29th, 2013, JMMI paid over $6,000.
Now, a divorce is what stopped him. A divorce is what counseled the Apostle David Taylor. And it wasn't his divorce, it was the divorce of a parishioner. So again, it's nothing wrong with fellowshipping and doing your whatever your religious beliefs is together. It's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you do see the flaw and fault coming in when you see literally pastors with $1 million worth of jewelry on them getting robbed, and then have the galls to say, well, why can't I walk around with a $50,000 watch and a $100,000 chain? Why can't I wear Fendi and Gucci? Because you're supposed to be allegedly the man of the cloth. You're supposed to practice being humble and not letting greed and money phase you. Like, as you can see, a lot of these pastors worship the money versus worshiping the faith. So, some of you may agree with me, and some of you may not. But that's my reasoning on why I don't do church. Now, you can list your reasons below, like maybe I haven't been to the right church, or maybe you have some experiences or have reasoning behind why you may not go to church or why you do go to church. Of course, it's a place of worship, but it's a place of worship when you have everyone worshiping and doing the same at the same time. That's the whole difference. So, again, tell me your comments. Let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. Again, I'm going to end this stream the way I end all my streams. If no one told you they love you, I do. I truly, truly do. And make sure you do better today than you did yesterday and strive for a better tomorrow today. Any and all of the current or previous streams you can find at the Mayday Mayhem podcast, which streamed across all platforms from Apple to Google to Anchor to hell, I'm everywhere. So again, I thank you for joining me today. I thank you for having the conversation. And again, just let your mind think about and just look at some of the pastors that have been vocal, very much so. Like, again, John Gray was in the news not too long ago for gifting his wife a $200,000 Lamborghini. So, what's your thoughts? Again, I'll talk to y'all next time. If no one told you they love you, I truly, truly do. I'll see y'all next time. Remember, you're precious cargo. You're special. Why? Because it's only one of you. You cannot be replicated and you cannot be duplicated. So again, I will see you guys next time. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy.